Welcome back to the deep dive. If you're tuning in, chances are you are just, well, completely over the whole diet cycle.
Yeah.
You know, the quick fixes, those really overwhelming meal plans, and just the sheer frustration of fighting your own hunger signals, basically, with nothing but willpower.
That fight, that's exactly why most weight loss attempts unfortunately fail.
Yeah.
We're often asking our biology to do things it just wasn't really designed for.
Especially in this world we live in, right?
Yeah.
With all the super tempting foods everywhere.
Precisely.
Exactly. So our mission today is to cut through all that noise around supplements.
Oh.
We want to give you a practical step-by-step blueprint on exactly how to use Keyslim Drops to support your weight loss journey. We really dug into the source material to find the best dosing, the optimal timing, and, crucially, those specific lifestyle habits that can actually stop that awful restriction rebound cycle for good.
And the big insight we pulled from all that, it's this. The path to lasting change isn't really about doing more. It's more about tuning four very specific levers. These levers kind of control your body's set point. We're talking about internal appetite control, getting your protein and fiber right, increasing that daily movement, NEAT, they call it.
Right, non-exercise activity thermogenesis.
Yeah, exactly. And getting solid sleep. Keyslim Drops sort of act as the support structure on the biological side. They make consistency feel, well, achievable, maybe for the first time for some people.
It's about finding a rhythm, isn't it? A sustainable one, where those small, mindful daily choices actually add up. They accumulate into real, lasting progress.
That's the goal.
So this deep dive is basically your shortcut to mastering that rhythm.
Okay, let's unpack the tool itself then, Keyslim Drops.
What I find interesting right away is the delivery system. It's not some huge capsule you have to, swallow.
Right.
It's a liquid formula you just add to water. Beyond just being convenient, is there a real physical benefit to that liquid delivery?
Oh, absolutely. That liquid form means faster absorption. Simple as that. When you take a pill, think about it. It has to break down in your stomach first before the active stuff gets released. These drops kind of bypass some of that digestive delay.
Oh, okay.
So the supporting compounds can start signaling your system a bit sooner.
And the sources we looked at, they frame this whole approach not just as some general weight loss aid, but as a structured 3-stage process. It seems aimed at fixing real issues like cravings, energy crashes, that slow metabolism feeling.
Exactly. It's not promising, burn fat while you sleep miracles.
Right. So walk us through those 3 stages.
Well, the structure is smart because it focuses on changing behavior first. Stage 1, it's all about curbing cravings. If your body is constantly screaming for sugar or late night snacks, no amount of willpower is going to hold up long term. The drops help stabilize those hunger signals right from the start.
So basically stopping that automatic reach for the pretzels or the chocolate bar after dinner.
Precisely. Then stage 2 shifts the focus. It moves towards fat oxidation.
Okay, fat oxidation. For someone listening who hears that and thinks it sounds like, I don't know, gym bro jargon, what does that actually mean for their body?
That's a great question. It's really just a technical term for enhancing the burning of stored fat for energy.
Right.
So once the drops help you control what you're putting in,
right.
Stage 2 gently nudges your body to actually use the energy it already has stored up instead of just constantly demanding new calories.
Makes sense.
And then stage 3, this is the crucial differentiator, I think, supporting long-term metabolism.
Oh, okay.
This is where so many supplements and, frankly, crash diets just completely fail. They don't build in any kind of maintenance phase. Keyslim is designed to help your metabolism stay stable, hopefully mitigating that, inevitable rebound so many people experience.
And that initial user experience people report seems key here. It's not like a sudden jolt of energy. It's more of a quiet shift. People say they eat slower, they feel done sooner at meals. That subtle feeling, that's the appetite control kicking in, right? Making portion reduction feel effortless instead of like a chore.
Exactly. It's perfect for that person who's always battling cravings, the snacker.
Yeah.
Or maybe the person who just always seems to eat like 20% more than they really needed at dinner. It just clears the path a bit.
Okay, so we've established the what's. Now let's get tactical. Let's unpack these key ingredients because the sources say they don't work in isolation. They're grouped by function. They kind of talk to each other.
Yeah, let's start with the one that changes behavior almost immediately. appetite and cravings. You've got Gymnema Sylvestre in there, which is, well, it's wildly effective because it literally has the chemical ability to dull the sweet receptors on your tongue.
That's fascinating.
So if you try to eat something sugary right after taking it, the sweetness is just dampened, less appealing.
I remember reading that anecdote about the user who said their favorite cookie tasted like cardboard after using it. That really takes the emotional power away from the craving, doesn't it?
It really does. And that reduction in the immediate appeal of sweets is paired with GABA. GABA addresses stress.
Okay.
It's a calming neurotransmitter. It specifically targets and helps reduce that really common stress-induced snacking cycle.
So it's tackling not just the physical hunger, but the emotional side too, kind of simultaneously.
Right. And they further stabilize that hunger signal with compounds like chromium picolinate and L-ornithine. Both of those are linked pretty directly to maintaining stable blood sugar. Because, when your blood sugar's on a roller coaster, your cravings usually are too. This group of ingredients really aims to smooth out that ride.
Okay, shifting gears then to the metabolism and fat oxidation group. That's where we find things like L-carnitine, green tea extract, and guarana. L-carnitine sort of acts like the body's fat taxi service, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. That's a good way to put it. It's the essential transporter. It moves stored fatty acids into the mitochondria, cells' little energy factories.
Right.
So they can actually be burned. Without enough L-carnitine, that stored fat just kind of stays put. Then the green tea and guarana provide that gentle thermogenic nudge, that little internal spark.
But let's address the elephant in the room there. When people hear green tea extract and guarana, they immediately think, oh no, jitters, or that horrible cracked out feeling you get from cheap energy drinks. How potent is this effect, really?
Yeah, that's a critical question. The sources suggest the blend provides a light thermogenic effect. It's meant to gently raise your core temperature a bit, encourage calorie burn, but not at the expense of your central nervous system.
Okay.
It's designed for efficiency, not, making you climb the walls.
That makes sense. Okay. And then there's that specific targeting of fat storage, what the sources called the trouble zone trio.
Right. This trio is kind of engineered to focus on those stubborn areas, often the waist and hips for many people. It includes African mango, or Ervingia gabonensis, which has actually been shown in some studies to help reduce waist circumference, and capsicum.
From chili peppers.
Exactly. That's what gives them their heat. It slightly raises your core temperature, encouraging your body to burn a few more calories, even while you're just, sitting there, maybe working at your desk.
Interesting. And finally, that long-term support crew, the stay consistent nutrients, you called them. Maca root, Panax ginseng, L-tyrosine, betaine HCl.
Yeah, these are there for the long haul.
Yeah.
Supporting things like hormonal balance with maca, mood and potentially thyroid health with L-tyrosine, and even nutrient absorption with betaine HCl. They're there to help ensure your momentum doesn't just fizzle out after the first month or so.
So if we connect this all back to the bigger picture, the blend seems designed to ensure that as the drops help you maybe eat a bit less. Your body isn't panicking and slamming the brakes on your metabolism. It's about systemic support, appetite, energy, hormonal stability, the whole package.
That's the idea, systemic support.
Okay, so we've covered the why and the what. Let's get really tactical now. What is the absolute secret to success when using this? Because like you said, the sources really emphasize consistency over everything else.
It just has become part of your routine. The ideal timing they suggest is one serving, added to water, taken about 20 to 30 minutes before your largest meal.
Okay, before the biggest meal.
Yeah, and that timing is crucial because it ensures ingredients like the Gymnema and the blood sugar stabilizers are fully active right when you're likely feeling the most hungry. For most folks, that's usually pre-lunch or maybe pre-dinner.
Why the 20 to 30 minute buffer though? Why not just, chug it with the meal?
Well, that buffer is needed for absorption and for the signaling to really start happening. But just as critically, you must mix it with a full glass of water, like 16 to 24 ounces.
That much. Wow.
Yeah, that large volume of liquid does two things. It definitely aids absorption, but it also creates some early satiety. You're physically taking up space in your stomach before you even pick up a fork.
So you naturally eat less.
Exactly, without needing to count a single calorie. It's a neat trick.
That's a powerful 2-for-1 benefit. Okay, now, back to those mild stimulants, the green tea and guarana. If my biggest meal is, say, at 7 p.m., is taking it then going to mess up my sleep?
Yes, potentially. That's the really critical timing caveat. If you know you're sensitive to caffeine, you absolutely must avoid taking it around 6 p.m. or later.
Yeah.
You need to protect those 7 to 8 hours of sleep. So in that case, shift your dose to midday or maybe even the morning, even if lunch isn't technically your largest meal. Sleep is just non-negotiable for metabolic health.
Right. And to make this rhythm stick, to make it non-negotiable, the sources recommended habit stacking. Pair it with something you already do.
Exactly. Don't just rely on remembering it randomly out of the blue. Maybe make it the first step when you fill your water bottle in the morning, or the thing you do right after you finish your coffee.
Yeah.
That automaticity, that's where true consistency lives.
And that consistency is the perfect bridge to our next section, those 4 lifestyle levers that really amplify the results. It sounds like the drops kind of clear the path.
Yeah.
But you still have to actually, drive down that road.
This is where we stop giving just generic advice and really connect the dots. See, the drops suppress the desire for junk food, right?
Yeah.
Which makes it the absolute perfect time to optimize lever 1, protein and fiber.
Okay, so how does the drop make eating better, easier?
Well, because Keyslim is helping dull those sweet receptors and stabilize your blood sugar, you're not constantly fighting those intense cravings for sugary processed carbs.
Right, less internal battle.
Exactly. So that allows you to more effortlessly hit that protein target, maybe 25 to 35 grams per meal, which in turn stabilizes hunger hormones like ghrelin and leptin, keeping you feeling fuller longer.
And fiber, the unsung metabolic hero, aiming for 25 to 30 grams daily?
Yeah, around there. Fiber slows down digestion, which is just crucial for blood sugar stability. If you can avoid those big glucose spikes, you avoid the crash that comes after. And that desperate need for sugar that usually hits around 3 p.m., think simple swaps.
Right.
Oats instead of sugary cereal, adding lentils or chia seeds to things.
Okay. Lever 2 is movement. Specifically, neat, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. This is basically just burning calories doing normal life stuff. Walking, cleaning, fidgeting even.
That's it. The goal should probably be somewhere around 8,000 to 10,000 daily steps. You don't necessarily need an hour killer session at the gym. Just sprinkle movement throughout your day.
And the sources mention something critical here, post-meal walks, these little movement snacks.
Yes. Even just 5 or 10 minutes walking after lunch can really help control those glucose spikes. And that often reduces those sneaky mid-afternoon cravings that can sabotage your whole day's progress.
And you got to protect your engine, right? Muscle tissue. The sources say 2 to 3 short sessions of resistance training per week.
Absolutely non-negotiable. You need to protect that muscle tissue because it's metabolically active. It burns way more calories than fat tissue, even when you're just sitting around resting.
Okay. It's lever 3. This is the one that can undermine everything if you ignore it. Sleep and stress control. You mentioned if you're getting less than 6 hours consistently, the drops will struggle.
They will. It's the hormonal science working directly against you at that point.
How so?
Well, poor sleep spikes ghrelin, that's your hunger hormone, while it simultaneously tanks leptin, your fullness hormone.
Oh, wow.
So your body is biologically primed to demand energy, specifically quick energy, which usually means sugar and carbs. And likewise, high chronic stress elevates cortisol. That increases appetite and tends to direct fat storage right towards your midsection.
Not ideal. So the fix is consistent sleep, 7 to 8 hours hopefully, using stress levers like maybe some box breathing or journaling, and definitely going tech dark for an hour before bed, setting yourself up for success.
Exactly. Now let's talk about something that happens to almost everyone, the plateau. If your progress stalls, typically around weeks 5 to 8, it is not failure, it's just feedback. Really important feedback.
Right. Don't quit, adjust. What are the top quick fixes when you hit that wall?
Okay, 3 main things to look at. First, reevaluate your timing. If you suddenly find yourself stress snacking late at night again, maybe adjust your Keyslim dose to take it pre-dinner instead of pre-lunch.
No.
Maximize that appetite suppression when you need it most.
Makes sense.
Second, front load your protein. If you're finding yourself starving by 11 a.m., double check that you're hitting a solid 25 to 30 grams of protein right at breakfast. And third, just nudge your steps up a bit. Increase your daily steps by maybe 1,000 or 2,000. Often just a small adjustment to one of those 4 levers. Timing, protein, steps, or even hydration is enough to shift your body out of its new comfort zone.
Okay, super practical. Now, before anyone rushes out to try this, we absolutely have to talk safety, because while the ingredients are natural, they are potent. Doing your homework here is critical.
Yeah, absolutely. Keyslim Drops are formulated for adult metabolism. We definitely need to issue caution for anyone who knows they're sensitive to stimulants, or if you have pre-existing conditions like hypertension or arrhythmias. That's mainly due to the guarana and green tea content.
Okay. And what if you're currently taking prescription medications, especially things that affect mood or maybe blood thinners? You must talk to your doctor first.
100%. You absolutely must consult your physician.
Can you explain why something like L-tyrosine might be a concern with certain beds?
Sure. L-tyrosine supports thyroid function and is also a precursor to important neurotransmitters.
Yeah.
Because of that, it could potentially interact with certain mood-stabilizing medications, like SSRIs or MAOIs, because they all influence brain chemistry and hormone pathways.
Okay.
And similarly, some ingredients like grapeseed extract and green tea can potentially have mild anticoagulant or blood-thinning effects, so they could clash with prescription blood thinners. Always check first.
That clarity is essential. Safety has to be part of the success plan. Okay, let's wrap up by setting some realistic expectations for the timeline, because this isn't a sprint, is it? It's definitely more of a marathon.
Exactly. Weeks 1 to 2, think of it as a reset phase. Don't look for big numbers on the scale yet. Look for the behavioral wins.
Like what?
Like steadier mood, fewer snack urges popping up, maybe better portion control at dinner without feeling deprived. Those are the early signs.
Okay. Then weeks 3 to 4, that's when you might hit visible momentum.
Yeah, this is where you might start seeing measurable changes. Maybe 1 to 3 centimeters loss around the waist or hips if you've been consistent with those 4 lifestyle levers. Your clothes will probably start fitting differently. Honestly, that's often more motivating than the number on the scale anyway.
True.
And that plateau we talked about, the one that often hits around week 5 or later, remember, that's actually a sign that the drops and your new habits worked well enough to establish a new, lower baseline weight for your body.
So don't stop then.
Definitely not. That's the time to fine-tune. Tweak your sleep. Check your protein timing. Maybe add those extra steps. Push forward.
So summing it up, Keyslim Drops seem to be about providing powerful, consistent support, but they're definitely not shortcuts. It's more about creating a sustainable rhythm where your body starts working with you instead of feeling like it's always working against you.
Well said.
Give it a fair shot, maybe a 4 to 8 week experiment. And track your baseline metrics, waist measurement, weight, daily steps. Hold the process accountable, you know?
So thinking about everything we've discussed, what really stands out to you listening right now? Maybe you remember this. Plateaus are not failures. They are just really clear feedback loops.
Okay.
They're telling you exactly which lever, whether it's sleep, protein timing, movement quantity, maybe even hydration, just needs a small, gentle nudge to get things moving again.
That's a great way to look at it. Feedback, not failure.
Exactly.
To start your own transformation today and explore the formula that helps support sustainable weight loss by tackling cravings and stabilizing metabolism, you can purchase Keyslim Drops using the link you'll find in the comments section below.